Good evening, St. Augustine, and welcome to a special edition of Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes are in the playoffs. It's a regional quarterfinal, and this is going to be a huge night. As a matter of fact, it's more than a quarterfinal. It's a regional semifinal. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes will be taking on the Taylor County High School Bulldogs from Perry, Florida. It's going to be a big night. The Flashes are 9-0. The Bulldogs are 6-5, but they're coming off a huge win over Baldwin in the first round. And here we go. It is the first second-round game in the state playoffs in the history of St. Joseph Academy. My name is Todd. My co-host is Phil. Phil, there's a great energy in this place right now. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, without a doubt. Today, this is a game that the Flashes have been looking forward to, trying to obviously make history and win its first playoff game. Great day at school. A lot of fun in the pep rally. We got the support for the students out here tonight, and looking to bring home a W and advance to next week's regional final.
Man, we are just fired up and ready. The officials are out on the field. The captains are getting ready to make their walk out to midfield. The Flashes will be led tonight by four players that have just been powerhouses all throughout the season. First, the two juniors, Michael Mugford and Miles Ayers. They will anchor both the offensive line and the defensive line. And alongside them on the walk out to midfield is senior quarterback Dylan Tebolt, number 4. He has been electric all year long. And next to him is number 24, the heart and soul of this team, James Drysdale. These guys have had incredible seasons. It's been so much fun to watch. Offensively, Dylan Tebolt, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards. He's scored 12 touchdowns. He's also run for almost 700 yards and added 13 more on the ground. He's been absolutely fantastic. Drysdale, the 5'10", 200-pound sophomore, well, all he's done is rush for about 7 yards a carry all year. He has been leading them on offense. He leads them on defense as well, where he leads this team in tackles. He has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's definitely been the catalyst of the team and the heart, as you mentioned, the heart and soul. And for the Flashers to take advantage of today's game, these two guys got to step up and show their leadership, not just with their play, but obviously it's getting the young guys going as well.
All year long, we've talked about this team getting off to slow starts. And then inevitably, at some point, James makes a big play. It might be a big hit. It might be a big run. It electrifies this entire team. And then all of a sudden, momentum goes their way, and a 3-0 game turns into a 26-3 game. You've got situations where they have been tied going into the third quarter, going back 3 weeks ago. And what was it? It was a 60-yard run by James Drysdale that got everybody going. T-Bolt follows up with a run of his own, and they never looked back. Secured the undefeated season, and now has given them this berth in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they've done all year too, is been able to control the game throughout the first half and then turn their burst on in that second half. And I think this first half today is going to be a huge indication of who kind of takes control of this game, and it's going to be a big first half. There's no doubt.
So the Flashes want to get off to a hot start, but you know what? They're facing a Taylor County Bulldogs team that had a huge win last week that I know meant a lot to them. They have traveled in force out to this game. Their band is here. Their team is fired up and ready to go. They are led by a couple of guys here, but the most notable one right now is DeCorian Bellamy. He's number 1. You're going to see him play 3 positions tonight. He lines up at quarterback. He will go to running back. He will go out to wide receiver. He's thrown for 1,000 yards. He's nearly rushed for 1,000 yards. And then just to do it, he's also caught about 100 yards worth of passes throughout the season. He is going to be a name you are going to hear a lot. The other 2 names you're going to hear are Robert Glanton and John Buddy McGrew. Robert Glanton is the backup quarterback. They use him a lot in Wildcat situations. They use him a lot as a change of pace. He's thrown for about 620 yards, 5 touchdowns through the air. He's got 50 carries on the season, and then just to throw it in there, he's got 23 catches for 390 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we'll hear about him a lot. Zoe Roberts is a guy that they're going to keep an eye on. He's got 30 or 40 catches on the season. But the guy I'm worried about is number 3, Damari Stevens. He's 6'4". He's 210 pounds. He can go up and get it. He is going to be a challenge on this evening.
Yeah, it looks like he's had to put up some really good numbers for the team as well, and those are definitely some key players that the Flashes are going to have to kind of hold in in their arms and making sure that they don't kind of take control, and that's going to be the dictation of this game.
So the teams have both made their way back over to their sidelines. The ball has been set at the 40-yard line. The kickoff's going to take place in just a few moments. Folks, we're going to be along with you all night long, keeping you updated on scores, highlights, and more. This is the only game in town. Usually we like to be able to give you scores from around the county, highlight a couple of big games, but we're it tonight.
Yeah. Should be a nice crowd because of that too, with being the last team in St. Johns County to be playing tonight, and definitely expecting a nice crowd on this little chilly night. But should be a lot of fun, and like we said, come out and play some good football, some good Friday night lights.
It is chilly, but I got to tell you, I love it. You know, one of the things we see in the NFL and in college football this time of year is you start to see snow on the field and you start to see a variety of elements come in and start affecting the game. And I'm always impressed by that one offensive lineman who walks out there when it's 25 degrees and snowing and he's going no sleeves. Well, for a team that's been practicing in 80 and 90-degree temperatures, it's almost in the 40s, and these guys are running out here. They're not even wearing their fancy Under Armours. They're going with no sleeves, just fired up and ready.
No, absolutely. I'm sure that obviously adrenaline and just the go of this game. I mean, obviously all that excitement and ready to go is definitely beaten into that mindset of the players. And I bet you they think it's about 90 degrees right now. They don't even notice the cold.
Well, the Flashes are going to receive this kickoff. I see a lot of energy right now. You got a lot of guys bouncing around. They're not just trying to stay warm, they are fired up. In a little twist, number 24, James Drysdale, is the deep man on this kickoff. That is an unusual position for him, but they want to start it off right. Number 4, Dylan T-Bolt, is also back. Looks like Ethan Senderling as well as Pat Lane are also back there. So this is going to be fun. The kickoff is about to happen, and this game is underway. Ball is going to be caught at about the 15-yard line. Drysdale is out across the 20, spins off a man at the 30. He's across the 35 and out to the 42-yard line. A fantastic return by the senior running back.
Yeah, that was impressive. The first hit came about the 25-yard line, and he gained 15 yards after that first initial contact. And that's, I mean, I kind of expect a lot of the guys talking to a couple of the kids in the school. They're saying a few of them are going to go two ways today, and hadn't really done it this year. But it's I'm sure they've been training. They're ready to go, and obviously right now there's nothing left behind.
Phil, that is a great point. This team has prided itself on having all of their players on one side of the ball, save for Drysdale and occasionally one or two other guys. Sam Ryan, most notably. But look, they've got to bring out all the stops tonight, okay? They know they've got to have their best athletes out on the field. They've got to have their best guys in every position. And so right now you're seeing Michael Mugford out on the field. We got a quick toss out to Drysdale, but look at this. He's got a man wide open. Oh, it is just incomplete. They ran the halfback pass, and it was just overthrown. Kent Hill was wide open.
Yeah, there was nobody in sight. That was a touchdown waiting to happen. What a great call to start this game off, and definitely caught the defense off guard.
It looked like there were a couple of challenges there with them getting lined up and them getting started. I'm disappointed that play didn't work out. I know the guys have been working on it this week. They told me that might be coming, but I wasn't sure. There it was, just overthrown. So this is going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the Flash's 42-yard line. They're going to give this one to Drysdale up the middle. He's going to be taken down with nearly no gain. So this Bulldog defense has been very, very strong throughout the season. They're not giving up a whole lot of points. They faced a couple of really impressive teams, but they've played very well. They're giving up a little over 20 points a game. And so when we go out there averaging over 30 a game, you'd like to think that you've got a shot, but it's going to be tough. It is 3rd down and 9 here. The Flashes are going to 3 wide receiver set. T-Bolt overthrows this one, nearly intercepted. That was tipped and knocked down by number 6, Zoe Roberts. And so that's going to bring up 4th down and 10. I have to say right now, looking down on the sideline, these coaches are doing their very best. They're keeping their head up. There's a lot of high fives, but they know that about 6 inches is the difference between this game being 6-0 right now and now them having to punt.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a a missed opportunity. But again, a lot of football to be played, so it's really got to keep your heads up, got to play positive, rely on that strong defense that they've had all year, and be able to get the ball back.
Number 7, Mac Tibbetts, the senior soccer player who has come over to the football side this year. There was a flag there right before the snap, encroachment on Taylor County. The Flashes are going to move forward. There is no score in this ball game. There's 11:01 to play. The Flashes now have the ball at the 47-yard line. It is fourth down and a little more than 6 yards. Here's the snap. Tibbetts with a man in his face gets it away. A high end-over-end kick comes down at about the 25. It is going to roll to the 23, and that is where the Bulldogs will take over. Folks, as the teams switch sides, we're going to take a quick timeout. You're listening to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes are taking on the Taylor County Bulldogs. They had to punt on their first possession. Taylor County now has the ball. Second down and 5 from the 29-yard line. No score in this game. A little more than 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. DeCorian Bellamy is in at quarterback. He is going to give this to number 9, John Buddy McGrew, who's going to drive his way forward, and it looks like he's going to get a first down on the run.
Yeah, that's his actual second run. They went back to back to him, and he looks with his statistics looks like he might be one of their workhorses behind in the backfield with 575 yards and about 5 touchdowns this year. So looks like they're trying to start the game early by just running up the field with one of their big men.
No doubt. And this Flashes defense, they've made a couple of adjustments. They've got number 11, Patrick Lane, back, which is big for them. Seamus Doherty has moved from middle linebacker to outside linebacker. A fantastic throw and catch from Bellamy to Zoe Roberts, caught at the 29-yard line of the Flashes. That one's going to go for about 40 yards. A beautiful throw. He went up and over top of number 4, Dylan Tebow, to make that catch.
Yeah, what a great reception. I mean, he got extension on that one, and a big play for Taylor County right there.
Bellamy shows the skill there. So it's Bellamy and McGrew in the backfield. Looks like right now you've got Stevens and Roberts split out wide to either side of the field. They're going to give this one to McGrew. He's going to take it off the left side, and he's got room. He's at the 20, across the 10, the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. A 30-yard touchdown run on first down. And Taylor County gets on the board first. It's 6-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a big run to the left, and just kind of he got the open field and put that second burst of energy out.
Bellamy has been strong all year long. He's been averaging a little over 8 yards a carry. He picks up 30 on that run. You know, as we were saying just before that play, the Flashes made a couple of moves on defense, really to be prepared for guys coming out of the backfield who they were going to throw the ball to. So you see guys like Seamus Doherty, he's on the outside, along with right now, along with Ethan Senderling. And then you've got Dylan Ott and James Drysdale in the middle. Drysdale was in the backfield when McGrew first took the handoff, but he popped to the outside. The end got sucked in, and there was nobody there to stop him.
Yeah, he definitely made his best effort to get around, and he just missed him by a few steps, and unfortunately was kind of stuck and almost couldn't get around.
So it's 7-0. The extra point is good. And so the Flashes are in that unenviable position right now of looking back on a missed opportunity here in the first quarter, and it ultimately becomes a 14-point swing. You miss out on what would have been an easy touchdown, and unfortunately, as the ball goes the other way, they score in just 5 plays.
Yeah, it's a tough one to start the game, but hey, there's a lot of football to be played, and got to have a nice drive right here to strike back and stay in this ball game.
We have seen the Flashes start slow a couple of times this year. We've also seen this defense, which is giving up less than 8 points a game, really step up even when they've made a couple of early game miscues. So the hope for them will be that they bounce back from this. They've got a great opportunity right now. They're going to get the ball back and try to put a drive together and answer the Bulldogs' initial score. It is a rolling kick that is going to be caught and downed by Michael Mugford, a defensive lineman, at about the 38-yard line. It looks like the kicker saw the return of Drysdale and wanted to kick away from him. So a little squibber that is recovered by the Flashes. So here's where the Flashes will take over. They'll be at the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line. 9:16 to play in this first quarter. The Bulldogs from Perry, Florida, Taylor County High School, lead 7-0. The Flashes come out here. Kent Hill is split out wide to the right. Two wide receivers out to the left. One of those is James Drysdale. Looks like the other is Mac Tibbetts. Patrick Lane is in the slot. Here's the snap. They are going to fake the handoff to Drysdale. T-Bolt is going to keep it and gain about 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, a little fake handoff right there, and he took up the middle. Looked like he gained about 5 yards or so.
So the way they have spotted this, we'll call it a long 3. So it's going to be second down and just more than 6 yards. Flashes trying to stay on schedule here. Of course, dealt with the incompletion in the first drive, got stuffed on the second run. Third and long is not really a great situation for them. They've got a couple of athletic wide receivers in guys like Kent Hill. Really excited about getting Patrick Lane back tonight. Sam Ryan is in the ball game right now. 3 wide receivers are split out wide to the right and 2 to the left, including Drysdale. Ryan in motion. T-Bolt rolls out to the right. He's going to keep it. He's going to pick up the first down and more. There was a pretty aggressive play there on the outside. It appeared to be number 4, Devontae Glover, threw down Kent Hill, who was trying to lay a block and then stared at him. But in the process, didn't see T-Bolt run right by him and pick up the first down. It's a gain of about 8 yards. And so it was just across midfield. That'll bring up first down and 10 from the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. It is 7-0 in favor of the Bulldogs with 8:10 to go. One wide receiver split out wide to the left. Sam Ryan in a little slot position. Drysdale goes straight up the middle for a gain of 5.
Yeah, and going back to that last play, it was a little bit of an advantage for the Flashes. The defender does. He gives them that stare, and he doesn't give that stare. He might get to T-Bolt, but lets him go behind him, and Dylan's able to get that first down.
So spotted just shy of the 45-yard line. It's going to be second down and 6 here for the Flashes. This offense has been powerful on the ground. Heard a little bit of feedback after last week that some people thought that Baldwin should have continued to run the ball a little more than they did. We'll see if the Flashes can do the same. Oh, an aggressive blitz off the right side. That was Devontae once again. Rips the helmet right off the quarterback. T-Bolt has not gotten up yet. His head got whipped back. The helmet was ripped off. He is down on the ground. Devontae Glover, number 4 with the face mask. That's going to be a personal foul waiting for the official call.
Yeah, good sign. Dylan is up, and he's coming off the field right now. But that was an aggressive play, and Taylor County is definitely coming out, and seems like I don't want to say they're headhunting, but they're definitely coming with some hard hits.
So because the helmet came off, regardless of how it came off, he is going to have to leave the field. So T-Bolt is coming to the sideline, although it appears that he's talking to his offensive coordinator and hasn't come across the sideline yet. So he may actually be able to stay in this game.
Yeah, I don't know what the rule is in high school on that one.
Confirmation from the officials up in the booth here, because of the personal foul, he will be able to stay in the game. I think if it was a circumstance where he was tackled and the helmet just sort of popped off, at that point he would have to come out. But because of the face mask, he is going to be able to stay in the game. The ball has been moved up to the 40-yard line. It looks like Interesting. So it appears still to be second down and incredibly short. Not sure what they're doing with the sticks here, but second down and short. Guess they moved that from the spot of the foul. So the Flashes have the ball at the 40-yard line. It's second down and 1, 7:24 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead the Flashes 7-0. Head official comes out to midfield, signals back up towards the booth. The clock is now running, and here we go. Drysdale and T-Bolt in the backfield. Sam Ryan in motion from right to left. Drysdale takes the handoff, goes up the middle, and he's going to get just enough for the first down. A gain of about 3 yards for Drysdale, and another first down for the Flashes. Ball's going to be set at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and as you said a second ago, that must have been a spot foul, and that's why they were just short because the personal foul, I mean, it did happen a little bit back in the backfield. And to be short in that position was definitely a little awkward.
So we've got a nice little unique setup tonight. It's kind of like when the guys in the booth have Gene Steratore with them, from New York talking. We got a couple of officials up in the booth giving us a little insight, so we appreciate the work there. Right now, special guest in the booth, Kevin Partel, has made a stop. T-Bolt fires this to the outside. He connects with Drysdale, who runs a man over at the 25-yard line. He'll get all the way down to the 21. Another first down for the Flashes.
Yeah, James just ran over the defender. It was he was on the move, full steam ahead, and there's no stopping James. And as you mentioned earlier, one play can turn this offense around, and that might be the play that gets him going.
A gain of 15 yards for the Flashes. A great misdirection play. A quick throw to the outside to Drysdale, and he does the rest. Drysdale and Ryan in the backfield. Tibbetts to the left of the screen. It looks like at the top of your screen right now, if you're watching this game on the Flashes YouTube network, you are seeing Patrick Lane along with Kent Hill. In the broadcast right now, the Flashes in their all-black uniforms, Taylor County, blue pants, white jerseys, orange helmets. A throw, and that is going to be tipped and intercepted by the Bulldogs at the 18-yard line. That one went right through the hands of the receiver and into the waiting arms of number 4, Devontae Glover, who makes yet another play.
Yeah, that little deflection just hurt, and it looked like it was going right at him. Unfortunately, just a tad deflection and kicked right to the defender. It wasn't even. It went right to his chest.
A tough break for the Flashes. If you look back at Dylan T-Bolt's stat sheet, it's relatively clean. 12 touchdowns on the year, only 5 interceptions. He has played well throughout the year, but that's a tough one. Going back, a couple of the interceptions he's had this year have been plays just like that one. He made a nice throw. It wasn't caught, but now it becomes a turnover, and Taylor County is back in business.
Yeah, it does. But again, got to step up right now. The defense for the Flashes has to step up and make a big stand and be able to get that ball back. They were definitely making a nice drive with a mixture of the runs and moving the ball down the field. So again, that's a confidence builder at this part of the game. Still got a lot of football. They know they can drive the ball on them, and just got to look at that defense to step up.
No doubt, and this is a big moment for the defense in order to try to retain what was the little bit of momentum that they just lost. So 5:24 to go, 6:24 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead 7-0. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes are lined up on defense right now. Again, a couple of adjustments. T-Bolt right back in the game at the left corner spot. It appears to be Christian Kess over on the other side leading St. Johns County in interceptions right now. This handoff is going to head to the outside to McGrew. He breaks the first tackle. He's going to be taken down at about the 30-yard line, but not before he gains 12 yards and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a big first down for them to be able to kind of get it out a little bit more out of their end zone in their area and move it up to the 32-yard line. James kind of came around at the back, but unfortunately couldn't get to him, and Dylan looked like Dylan was able to put the tackle on him.
Watching these guys a little bit on film, they're big up front. They're fast at the skill positions. We knew we were in for a test tonight. Now getting a chance to see them in person, I think it further illuminates the speed that they have at the skill positions. McGrew is a relatively big guy at almost 200 pounds, but he's moving more like a scat back right now. So a great run. Bellamy is going to keep this one and take it up the middle. He's going to gain about 6 yards on the run right up the middle.
Yeah, they're definitely a very athletic team, and that speed is.
So the ball is set at the 38-yard line. It's second down and about 4 yards. Split out wide to the right is Zoe Roberts. He made a huge catch earlier in the first quarter. Damari Stevens is split out wide to the left, but this one's going to McGrew. He is going to be stopped short of the line to gain. That's going to bring up third down and a short one. 5:06 to go, still a 7-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Huge moment for this defense. A stop here, getting them the ball back, would be just the medicine they need.
Absolutely, this is definitely a big play early in the ball game for the
So
for this
here we
Flashes
go. It
defense
is
to
a
make a stand.
shotgun formation here with Bellamy and McGrew in the background. Two wide receiver set. Bellamy is going to keep it. He's going to get it, and he's going to get all the way across midfield. Brought down by Patrick Lane at the Flashes' 45-yard line, a gain of almost 15 yards on 3rd and 1. He went right up the middle, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, he broke through, and fortunately Patrick was able to get him down, because if he gets through him, it looked like another score for the Bulldogs.
Patrick Lane broke his collarbone in the second game of the season. He's been waiting for a chance to get back. I know he was fired up to be here tonight. He's in that safety position, but he is a cornerback by trade, so he is covering the slot receiver right now in what is a 4 wide receiver set. Quick screen to the outside to Robert Glanton. He is going to pick up enough for the first down and more, a gain of about 17 yards. He's forced out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, this Bulldog offense is moving down the field, and they're mixing up their plays, and like you mentioned, their speed and their size is they're kind of putting a hurting right now.
They are playing hard. They are playing fast. The Flashes defense a little bit back on their heels right now, looking to make a play right now. They come up to the line. Big Miles Ayers in there at nose tackle right now. He's been exclusively at left tackle throughout the season, used sparingly, if at all, on the defensive line. This is a big game. It's a throw to a wide open tight end, Kevin Thomas, who's going to go in for the touchdown. It is a 28-yard connection from Bellamy to Thomas.
Yeah, he was wide open up the middle. I don't know if it was a missed coverage or what happened, but he definitely split it open and pretty much walked into the end zone.
Really disappointing moment there for this defense. Hoping that these guys are able to bounce back. This was one of those situations where, again, you don't want to dwell on anything from the first quarter, but the drop touchdown pass, which led to the turnover, and now 14 unanswered points, or about to be 14. Actually, the extra point is blocked. It was a bad snap. They couldn't get it down. The kick is blocked. 13 points on the board for the Bulldogs. We're going to step away from 30 seconds. You're listening to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. When the Flashes earned their way into this game, they knew they were going to have a serious test coming to them in the second round because you knew you were either getting the Baldwin team that was arguably the favorite in the region, or you were going to get a team like Taylor County. James Drysdale on the return somersaults his way out across the 30-yard line. But you knew you were going to be facing a team that came in. They really are big up front. There are three 300-pound guys on that line. They are strong up front, and they are fast at the skill positions. And you see a couple of mismatches there right now, both in the height of somebody like Damari Stevens and the speed that you saw in Zoe Roberts, as well as the quarterback, Decorian Bellamy. I'm impressed thus far with what I've seen out of the Flash's offensive line. They seem to be getting a little bit of push. So I'm hopeful right now that in this setup right now, the Flashes can move the ball and put some points on the board. The Bulldogs lead 13 to nothing with 3:28 to go in the first quarter. Flashes in a two wide receiver set, a couple of wing backs here, and Drysdale in the backfield. This one is going to be handed off to Sam Ryan, who's got nowhere to go, taken down in the backfield for a loss of 5.
Yeah, and this is a pretty big drive. I mean, it still is definitely extremely early in this game, but you don't want this game getting out of control, and this is going to be a big indication of how the game could go, just to be able to, like you said, put some points on the board and get back in it.
No doubt. Want to say hello to a couple of our loyal listeners out there right now, both on WSOS as well as on the Flash's YouTube network. A couple of shout outs right now to Joey out in Gainesville watching the game. Thanks for being along with us. Also to Nick in Lake Mary, Florida, watching the game. Thanks for tuning in and listening. T-Bolt rolls out to the left. He's under pressure, fires this one. That is going to be caught by Sam Ryan. He's going to be forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play. It's going to bring up third down, but gets the Flashes back into a third and manageable. Going to be third and a long 7 in this 13-0 ball game. 2:37 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a nice escape and roll out by Dylan, and being able to get the ball out. They had three of those linemen on him pretty close, and he was able to get the ball out and get a couple yards back.
Kent Hill split out wide to the right. Flashes trying to get them to jump off sides here. Drysdale in the backfield. The flag comes out. That is going to be offsides on the defense. That is a big one. That's going to get them down to third and just 3 yards. Although, look at this. Apparently, one of the Flashes moved. I would have thought they may have been drawn offside, but that is not the call. So that is going to bring them back. It basically eliminates the previous gain.
I actually think Dylan might have moved there, thinking it might have been a timeout or something. It looked like he had some confusion on the sideline. I wasn't sure if Flashes were calling a timeout or what exactly happened there.
So here we are. We are at third and about 14 yards. Right now, you've got Kent Hill split out wide to the right, along with Ethan Senderling. Mac Tibbetts at the bottom of your screen. It looks like Sam Ryan is kind of playing that wingback position right now. Tibbetts is going to come in motion. Drysdale in the backfield. They're going to fire it out to Drysdale. The ball's on the ground, but he falls on it and saves the day here. It's going to be fourth down and about 20 yards, but it's going to give them a chance to punt this one away.
Yeah, it almost looked like they were trying to run that same first play and throwing the ball back, and then obviously hoping for a man downfield to get some big yardage. And unfortunately, just missed James.
So Mac Tibbetts is going to be out here to punt. T-Bolt looking off to his offensive coordinator as well as his head coach, Brandon Tidwell. That is Brian Newhouse, the OC. A lot of pressure coming off the outside. Tibbetts gets away a pretty good punt. That one's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 47-yard line, which is where the Bulldogs are going to take over. 1:49 to go in the first quarter, 13-0 lead for the Bulldogs. So as the Flashes head back out onto the field on defense, they are looking for some answers to slow down this Bulldogs attack. Decorian Bellamy has has been impressive thus far, both running and throwing the ball. He's got one touchdown pass and also a really nice throw that set up a touchdown run earlier. He is alone in the backfield. Glanton's in motion. They're going to give it to Glanton. He shakes the first tackle. He's across midfield. He is at the line to gain, still on his feet, and he is going to be taken down after a gain of 14 yards. He is down at the 38-yard line of the Flashes. He seemed to be dancing in a little space, never quite letting anybody touch him. That was an impressive athletic feat.
That really was. He actually had a moment there. He ran into his own lineman and still twisted and turned and did a little bit of every move possible to gain some extra yards.
1:25 to go in this first quarter. Same formation for the Bulldogs. Two split out wide to the right, one to the left. Little H back here. They're going to give this one to Glanton. Again, Glanton goes up the middle for a gain of 12. But the ball is on the ground, and the Flashes are holding it up like they have it. And they do! Look at this. The Flashes have recovered a fumble and will take over. A huge play by the Flashes defense. Phil, could you see who came up with that recovery?
I didn't notice it at all. I'm still trying to see if the official has made a call. No, it looks like Taylor County's keeping the ball.
The back judge has come running in and signaled that the runner was down. The ball is going to stay in possession of the Bulldogs. What a deflating situation for this Flashes team.
This is where you definitely need that video replay in high school.
Well, for those of you watching right now on the Flashes YouTube network, I believe there's a little slider at the bottom of your screen, so you can go ahead and check out a quick replay. Let me know what you see. Look, our officials do an awesome job. They've got a much better angle than I do, so we will just have to go with the call on the field. So, quick throw to the outside. That is going to be caught by, looks like Parker out there. Stevens, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, and we're coming to the end of the first quarter here. Just a few seconds left, it looks like.
We are inside 10 seconds. We are going to step away for a timeout right along with the team, waiting for that horn to sound. About 5 seconds to go. Taylor County does not appear to be in a hurry to get up to the line. Both teams just sort of standing around right now. So I tell you what, we are going to step away. That's the end of the first quarter. The Taylor County High School Bulldogs lead the St. Joseph Academy Flashes 13-0 in this regional semifinal game. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on WSOS 103.9, 95.7, and the Flashes Digital Network. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes have earned this second round opportunity here in the state playoffs. As we talked about in the pregame, this is only the fourth time in school history that they have made it into the state playoffs, the first time in those 4 trips that they have made it into the second round. So this is a big night. The Flashes faithful are here in droves. Great energy in the crowd. Taylor County traveled very well. They've got their band up here entertaining the crowd. The cheerleaders are out there. They're having a good time. But right now, the Taylor County Bulldogs have the ball, 2nd down and 4 at the Flashes' 20-yard line. Glanton goes in motion. Bellamy drops back to pass. He is going to pull this one down and run to the outside. Breaks the first tackle. He's out across the 15, the 10, down to the 5, but he is knocked out of bounds before he gets in the end zone. Can't tell from here exactly who made that tackle. I believe that was number 1, Christian Kess, along with number 11, Patrick Lane, forcing him out of bounds. But they are inside the 5, and it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, he did a little deke move and was able to escape the pocket and had some running room, and fortunate for a big tackle to keep him out of the end zone, and brings up a first down opportunity with them inside the goal
So
line.
1st and goal, it is 13-0. We are just at the start of the second quarter. Right now, the Bellamy has lined up 3 wide receivers out to the right, just 1 out to the left. That is number 3, Damari Stevens. They're going to throw the fade to Stevens, who goes up and catches it in the corner of the end zone. A touchdown over over Christian Kess. That is a 6'4 man on a 5'9 man. That is a tough matchup for Kess, as good as he has been. 19 points on the board for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bellamy just threw it up and said, hey, I got a 6'3 against 5'9 matchup. Get some air on it, and we should have an advantage on it, and they definitely came through.
The 3 wide receivers were to the short side of the field, and so we knew when we had Stevens one-on-one out to the wide side, that was a possibility. The safety had to shade over to that trips formation, and so a tough one here. Number 83 right now, Irvin Azarte for the extra point. It is up and good, and there are 20 points on the board for the Bulldogs. The Flashes have not yet gotten onto the scoreboard. The Flashes come to the sideline right now. Head coach Brandon Tidwell, who has done such a good job motivating his team throughout the year, high-fiving a lot of the guys, making sure that they are staying up. A big part of his energy is keeping these guys focused, keeping these guys getting stronger and improving. But in a night like tonight, it's keeping them motivated, making sure they understand that he cares about them no matter the score.
No, absolutely, and just this positiveness that he's obviously brought to the program. It's definitely. I mean, the kids love him. They love playing for him. They love working for him, and it shows. It shows they are giving. They're going to continue to give everything they got, no matter what the score is, and they're going to fight to the last second.
No doubt. A couple more references here we want to make sure. So for those of you that are watching this game right now, the field looks absolutely fantastic tonight. A new setup outlining both the numbers as well as the logo at the center of the field. Big thanks to Lee McCool for all of his work. As I understand it, Lee McCool gives all the credit to a gentleman named Coach O for all of his skills learning how to line the field. Nice inside joke there for those two. But I'm telling you, Mr. McCool is a talented gentleman when it comes to all of this. Drysdale on the return, picks it up at the 15, breaks a tackle. He is out across the 30, the 40, across midfield, taken down at the 45-yard line. A big return by Drysdale.
Yeah, that was a great run. I mean, he came up and weaved it out. A few guys hit one guy down, and just that puts the Flashes in a good position to start this drive and again keep them in this ball game.
That young man comes to play every night. I told him before the game how much I enjoy getting a chance to watch him play football. We both agreed neither of us was done with me getting a chance to watch him play football, and that's going to happen one of 2 ways. It's going to happen because the Flashes come back and win this game and they move on to the next round, or it's because I believe that young man will be playing at the next level. A couple of Division I offers already. Looking right now at his reach school in terms of playing, not academically, but hopes to get a chance to walk on at a pretty big school. But I'll let him handle that situation. Quick pitch to the outside. That ball is bobbled and fallen on. That's going to be a loss of 4 on first down. That one went to number 5, Seamus Doherty. They were giving Drysdale a little breather after that return. It was about a 35-yard return, but I think he dished out 3 or 4 hits
Yes.
on that return. So a nice move there. 10:35 to go here. 20-0 lead for Taylor County. The Flashes have the ball at the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. T-Bolt and Drysdale in the backfield, little wing T formation. T-Bolt under pressure, tries to step up in the pocket, but he's going to be sacked. That was number 23, Max Kalschmidt. That is his 4th sack of the season. We haven't really talked too much about this defensive line. Travis Day comes in here, 6 feet tall, 295 pounds. It's actually Joseph Morgan that I was worried about. He's got 11 tackles for loss and 7 sacks on the season. The defense, though, is really led by their middle linebacker, Caven Thomas, 127 tackles on the season. You saw him earlier making a big play on the touchdown catch. Flashes here, 3rd down and 15. T-Bolt is going to roll out to the left under some pressure. He's going to tuck it and run. He gains 5. He now gains 10. Gets it out to the 40-yard line. The sticks are dropped on the ground, but it's going to be 3rd down and about 4. 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, and where they're at right now in this game, I would be surprised if Coach Tidwell decides to go for this. They're within reach. It's definitely a play that they could get 4 yards and keep this drive going. And it looks like the offense is staying on the field right now.
No, I think this is a situation where you have to take a chance. They haven't made that big stop on defensive yet, so this is almost like playing the Kansas City Chiefs right now. You've got to go for it.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself a chance. 3 wide receivers set. Kent Hill, the big play receiver, split out wide to the right. Drysdale and T-Bolt in the backfield. Tibbetts is out wide to the left. Here's the snap, and it's a delay of game penalty on the Flashes.
It's actually Coach Newhouse just called a timeout right before the snap.
So the flag was on the ground, but the timeout was called. So we're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. A quick throw to the outside, complete, and that's going to be a 1st down. So the Flashes called timeout. They talked it over. They drew up the perfect play. Quick throw to the outside, I believe. If I am not mistaken, that was number 11, Patrick Lane, on the catch. He turns it up the field, gets out of bounds. It's a 1st down. The Flashes are still in business. Ball is set at the 34-yard line of the Bulldogs. It's 20-0 in favor of the Bulldogs, 9:21 to go in the 1st half. Drysdale in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. He's going to dance his way up the middle, runs a man over for a gain of 11 yards, and another Flashes 1st down.
Yeah, and he actually had a defender on his back holding on to him, and James just kept burrowing those legs, and he wasn't going down.
No, he is a determined young man. Another 1st down for the Flashes. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a healthy dose of Drysdale for the remainder of this drive. Look, they've got to move the football. They've had a little trouble throwing it. I think you're going to see another Drysdale run right now. That is my expectation. Here we go. 2 wide receivers out wide to the right, 2 out to the left. That is Sam Ryan in motion. T-Bolt is going to fake the handoff and keep it, and he's got nowhere to go. Thrown down at the end of the play, and a flag comes out. That is going to be, I believe, an unsportsmanlike conduct, if not a unnecessary roughness penalty. A couple of the Bulldogs players restraining one of their teammates. A little bit of jawing going on the field. I believe one of the Flash's offensive lineman was having a little conversation with him, expressing his displeasure at his quarterback being thrown down. So a personal foul has been called. We'll wait to see where they mark this off. I imagine that'll be from the spot. Not sure if it's an automatic 1st down. We're going to wait and see. It is not an automatic first down, so it's going to be from the spot. They are walking it off now. It is from the previous spot, not from the spot of the foul, which is good for the Flashes. So the ball is now going to be set at the 13-yard line. The Flashes have a first down and 10. 8:40 to go here in the second quarter. 4 wide receivers in the formation. Kent Hill out wide to the right. T-Bolt looks left, flush left, runs left, gets across. He's gained 5.
He's still on his feet.
He's still on his feet, and he is in the
Touchdown.
end zone for a touchdown. The cannon goes off. What a huge play for the Flashes. Dylan T-Bolt, he got around the outside, stumbled, evaded a tackle, dove for the end zone. A little delayed call, but he is in for the score. And you had the exciting return of the Flashes cannon. That goes off in the end zone. A big moment for this Flashes team. It's 13-6. Sam Ryan lines up for the extra point, looks to put the 7th point on the board. A little bit of motion on the inside, and we're going to wait and see if this is encroachment or movement. Hand goes in the air. It is encroachment on the defense, half the distance to the goal. I see a couple of the offensive players running back on the field. Kent Hill along with James Drysdale. I believe with that penalty, they are now going to go for 2.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea right here too, and to be able to get those 2 points back, and again, here's their shot at getting back in the ball game. That was a huge play by Dylan, and Flashes are back in it.
They are indeed. So here we go. There are 8:20 to go in the game. It's 20-6. The Flashes come up to the line, spreading this defense out. 4 wide receivers spread out outside the numbers. Drysdale and T-Bolt in the backfield. T-Bolt is going to drop back to pass. He's flushed. He escapes out to the right, and he is going to jog it in for the score. The 2-point conversion is good. It's 20-8. The Flashes are back in business. We're going to step away for 30 seconds. We'll be right back on Friday Night Lights here on WSOS. Welcome back to WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. You're checking this game out on the Flashes digital and radio networks tonight. The Flashes are back in business, but as my old friend would say, don't call it a comeback. I can't finish it. I can't finish it. You knew what comes next. We're going to stop right there. Here we go. The Flashes with the onside kick right up the middle. They are not going to recover that one. So the Bulldogs are going to take over at the 45-yard line. Not sure that was the full onside kick. That may have been the we don't want to see a big return here. So just a little dribbler right back up the middle. 8:16 to go in this ball game. The Flashes now on the board. It's 20-8 in favor of Taylor County. You know, we were saying during the break, there's been a lot of energy around this game. Taylor County really excited about the win last week and the opportunity that they have this week. The Flashes have been all about business. They've stayed off social media. They've stayed out of any conversation. They just want to play football. And right now, with the play that they just made, they're back in this game. Big throw to the outside from Bellamy. That is going to be caught all the way down at the 20-yard line. That looked like number 6, Zoe Roberts. He goes up and gets that one. Ball was a little bit underthrown, but he went up and got it.
Yeah, for the Flash's defense, it's a good thing it was underthrown because if he caught him in stride, he might have been gone on the first play. And this is a huge drive for the Flash's defense. They just come out and put up a score for the offense puts up a score, puts them back in the game, and really hoping this defense can step it up.
Well, they're going to give it everything they've got. That's what I know about Brandon Tidwell's defense. So here we go. Two wide receivers split out wide to the left, two to the right. A little bit of a stacked situation. Bellamy is going to look to the right. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's up the middle, evades a tackler. He's out across the 15, the 10, the 5. He dives and he's going to score. He's going to score. DeQuarian Bellamy on the run. It goes for 22 yards and another Bulldogs touchdown.
Yeah, and that was just an explosion, just two quick plays, and they get their points back. And Bellamy did it all first with his arm and then with his legs.
The 22-yard gain puts 26 points on the board. It's now 26-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. Irvin Azarte is jogging out on the field. Actually, no, it appears they are going to go for two. I don't know if this is a response to the Flashes going for two, or if there is a chart somewhere that says when you're up 26-8, you go for it. But either way, they're going to look to go up 20 here. So here's the run up the middle. John Buddy McGrew is going to just fall across the line. Folks, it is now 28-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. We're going to take a break and come back on the other side for the Flash's possession. We'll be right back here on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. Welcome back, folks. Thrilled that you are along with us here on this special playoff edition of Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. So the Flashes got on the board it seems like just minutes ago. The Bulldogs took the onside kick, recovered at the 40, a big throw, a big run, the 2-point conversion, and it's back to a 20-point lead, 28-8. Flashes, Dylan Tebolt catches this one at the 20s, out across the 25. He tries to escape a tackler, but he's going to make his way out to the 32-yard line, which is where the Flashes will take over. It's 28-8, 7:20 to go in the first quarter. Ball's going to be marked at the 32-yard line, and the Flashes need another drive here.
Yeah, they definitely do. They got to respond once again, and the offense has been driving. It seems like pretty much every possession they've had the ball move, and have kind of driven the ball down a little bit, and shows the offense has been keeping them there.
You know, you had the one turnover. You had to punt it away a couple of times. But overall, this Flashes offense has been good. They haven't had the big play yet. Okay, you had a nice kickoff return. You definitely had a pair of nice runs by Drysdale and Tebow that got you into the end zone, but you haven't had that big splash play yet. So hopefully we're going to see that here on this drive. Drysdale and Tebow in the backfield. This one is going to go to Drysdale, who takes it up the middle for a gain of about 5 yards. Little adjustment there. That was actually Seamus as the deep back. T-Bolt was lined up in the wing, had that little orbit motion, and then the ball went to him. He picks up 5 yards on first down, bringing up 2nd and 5 from the 37-yard line. Great crowd out here tonight. Got a chance to see a couple of Flashes, alums, seeing a lot of hot chocolate
Oh,
out in the crowd right now. Actually, just double checking the weather here in St. Augustine. So I'm a little surprised. Right now it says 59. I don't think my watch is updated because it seems a little bit colder than that.
yeah. When I was in my car and heading over, it was at 50. So and I'm starting to not
51 degrees
feel
here
my
in St.
toes.
Augustine, Florida. Dylan T-Bolt fires this one downfield, and that is going to be caught. Look at this, a huge catch on the play. That is number 7, Mac Tibbetts. He was wide open at the opposite 40-yard line. There was a flag thrown right around where that ball was thrown from. Officials are talking, and the Flash's offense is walking back towards the original line of scrimmage. That is not a good sign.
No, it's not. And there's actually 3 flags on the ground, so I guess all officials saw the same thing.
So Tebow rolled out to the left, was under a little bit of pressure. I'm going to imagine this is going to be a holding call. Waiting for official word from the head referee. It is, in fact, holding on the Flashes. That is not only going to cost them 10 yards, but it negates what was a 30-yard gain. Ball's going to be marched all the way back to the Flashes' appears to be about the 24-yard line. 6:18 to go in the first half. The score is 28-8 in favor of Taylor County. Officials timeout. It looks like we may be getting a water break on the field. They are talking it over. And it is a water break indeed, so we're going to step away and do the same. We'll be back on the Flashes Digital Network. Welcome back here to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. You know, one of the great elements of any community is when you support each other in big moments. And this Flashes crowd is still loud and boisterous. Second down and long, a nice little middle screen thrown here to Drysdale. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play, bringing up third and about 16 yards. But in the timeout, the cheerleaders were cheering, the fans were going wild, the cowbells were going off in the stands there. It's been a lot of fun to watch. These folks are fired up and ready, and this Flashes offense in that timeout, I know they were talking to offense coordinator Brian Newhouse about a couple of adjustments. This team has been so good in the second half. Spirits are still high, expectations are still high, but you'd like to get another score before the end of the half.
No, absolutely, and just keeping this a ball game, and if we can get if the Flashes can score another touchdown in this drive, I mean that will be big to keep them within the ball game. And
Drysdale up the middle. He's going to gain about 5 yards on this play. That's going to bring up fourth down and about 11. That holding penalty is looming large. You know, the players aren't allowed to look back, right? They've got to continue to look forward. You know, I still look back on a couple of key plays in this game, and the momentum builder that would have been that opening play touchdown. The energy that this crowd would have had, you hope it would have impacted the defense. You hope it would have impacted the way your opponent approaches the things that they do, get them a little bit out of sorts, maybe arguing with each other. You never know, especially when you run a trick play. But that incompletion and the subsequent punt, it
changes the whole complexity of the game.
it really did.
Yeah.
It really did. And so what you saw, just a little recap, you know, from there, you saw a big throw and a big run from the Bulldogs. They got on the board early. The Flashes weren't able to come back and answer. You know, you had to punt. They went down and scored. You got the ball back again. You were driving. You get a tipped ball interception. You get the ball back, okay, which is great. You go down and you score, and that made it 20-8 at the time. But the Bulldogs have since put a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up and made it 28-8. Bellamy right now, hands in a little hand warmer right now. It is chilly out there on that field. Bellamy is going to look left, fires to a wide open Robert Glanton, who dives and makes the catch at the 16-yard line. Ball was just underthrown again, or he would have gone in for the score. He elevated, made the catch, and the ball is going to be marked at the 16-yard line. Bellamy has thrown a couple of pretty balls. The corners have not been able to stay with these wide receivers.
Yeah, and you don't know if that's just a little bit of the youth too, and with the Flashes, there's a lot of young guys on the field, and not sure if there's their youth and inexperience, and against some of these guys with more speed is really hurting them.
4:14 to go in the half. You are listening to a special playoff broadcast here on WSOS and on the Flashes digital network. This is a regional semifinal game in the 3A state playoffs. Glanton in motion, Bellamy in the backfield, three wide receivers out to the right, a flag in the air. Looks like a delay of game penalty on the Bulldogs, which is going to back them up. It's going to be 1st and 15 from the 21. Flash's defense gets a break here, putting them in, well, getting them off schedule. Now, they've made big plays, and they've done a pretty good job, especially in the red zone tonight. Perfect in the red zone thus far. But you get them off schedule, you give yourself a chance. Here's the snap. Bellamy, the quick pitch outside to Glanton. Glanton, his own halfback pass. That is going to be thrown and knocked away by, looks like, actually, that was Dylan T-Bolt. Excuse me, Dylan Ott came from the linebacker position out there. He's been playing corner all year, followed the tight end out there and stayed with him. That actually was, it looked like number 5, Caven Thomas, who actually scored coming out of the tight end spot, going straight up the middle earlier. Ott did a nice job picking him up there. So the halfback pass is unsuccessful. The Flashes will live to fight another day. It's now 2nd down and 15. 3:45 to go in the first half. Still 28-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. Play clock is inside 5 here. Bellamy is going to get the snap. He is going to fake the pitch. He's going to throw this one to the end zone. 2 men in coverage, and a flag comes out late. Pass was intended for Zoe Roberts. You had 2 Flash defensive backs there, one of whom has not yet gotten up.
And I think that's Dylan T-Bolt on the ground, actually.
Waiting to see here. Patrick Lane was out there in coverage. That might be Dylan T-Bolt, your quarterback, who is also in at corner tonight. Folks, we are going to give the training staff a few minutes. Isabella Collins is out there from St. Augustine Orthopedic Associates to keep an eye on him. Also see head coach Brandon Tidwell is over there as well. Folks, we're going to step away for just about 30 seconds here, give them a chance to tend to their quarterback, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Dylan T-Bolt was able to get up. It appears he just had the wind knocked out of him. It's 2nd down and 5 from the 10-yard line. Bellamy under a lot of pressure. He escapes that pressure. He's going to run this one down to the 5-yard line. and it appears he got just enough for the first down. Flashes brought the blitz there, got a lot of pressure on him. He did a beautiful job stepping up in the pocket. The head official has signaled a first down. It's 1st and goal for the Bulldogs from the 5-yard line. Bulldogs hurry up to the line. Buddy McGrew and Bellamy in the backfield. 4 wide receivers out in the formation. I see Robert Stevens and Glanton right now. I believe the other player out there is J.W. Hudson, a freshman. That one is going to be thrown into the end zone and just over the intended target. Let's see, that was Mr. Stevens.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to do a quick slant and throw was just in front of the receiver. Good news for the Flashes. Dylan T-Bolt's over here on the sideline doing a couple little sprints and jogs trying to get his leg loose, and looks like he's okay,
He just gave the
fortunately.
trainer the thumbs up there. 2nd and goal here for the Bulldogs. 3:08 to go in the first half. 28 points on the board already for the Bulldogs. Here is the snap. Bellamy fires it out quickly to the right. That is going to be Glanton, who's going to reach for the end zone, and he is going to score. He is going to score. That is Robert Glanton. That is a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Inside 3 minutes, 34-8 in favor of Taylor County.
Yeah, this explosive offense just keeps making plays for the Bulldogs, and they seem to keep the defense on their toes, trying to figure out how to stop them. But it's almost like they've got so many offensive weapons.
Azarte out here for the extra point. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. Folks, it is 35-8 in favor of Taylor County over the St. Joseph Academy Flashes. We are going to step away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. That kick is going to be caught at about the 30-yard line, brought out across the 35, and that is where it will stay. So the Flashes take over down 35-8. You're listening to a very special broadcast here tonight. This is only the 4th state playoff game in St. Joseph Academy's history. They unfortunately are down 35-8 here in the second round in this regional semifinal to Taylor County High School out of Perry, Florida, out towards Tallahassee. Interesting element I actually found out over the course of the last 48 hours or so. My neighbor is actually a Taylor County alum, and I learned this morning that my wife's grandmother went to Taylor County High School, graduated there during World War II.
Wow.
A 1945 graduate. This handoff up the middle to James Drysdale. Tough as can be, he's going to pick up about 6 yards on that run. There's no quit in that young man, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's one thing that's for sure. No matter what this score is, you know he's giving you 150%, and he's going to go full throttle until that last second rings.
I'm going to have to face my wife's grandmother on Thanksgiving. And quick pitch to the outside. Sam Ryan is going to take this one and dive for the 50-yard line. That is going to be enough for a first down. A little option play there.
Nice little move by Sam there at the end to sneak around. Had that defender come and look like he was going to knock him out of bounds. He gave him a little stutter step and jabbed the opposite direction, got an extra couple yards out of that.
I'm still expecting that when I sit down to Thanksgiving dinner, that plate of turkey in front of me, along with a little sweet potato casserole, my wife's rice dressing, along with a variety of other sides all set up there, I'd like to be able to look over at Gan Gan and say, hey, we got you guys that night. So it's going to be fun. Fakes the pitch. T-Bolt under a whole lot of pressure. He is going to get taken down back at the 45-yard line. This Bulldog defense has pinned their ears back, and they are coming at Drysdale, and they're coming at T-Bolt with everything they've got. That looked to be Tony Hinkle on the sack. Also saw Noah Little get in there as well. Flashes with 4 wide receivers in the formation. T-Bolt and Drysdale alone in the backfield. Drysdale under pressure, rolls out to the right. He is going to tuck it and run. He's going to get back out to the 50-yard line. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8 yards now. 1:11 to go in the half. It's 35-8 in favor of the Bulldogs, but the Flashes are moving.
Michael Mugford just came off the field, looked like he's in a little bit of pain and kind of grabbing like his little lower abs, maybe his stomach area.
Mugford is a guy you definitely want out there, so hopefully we are going to be good to go here. T-Bolt is going to keep this one. He is going to try to escape out to the left, but he is going to be taken down. Folks, that is number 24, Jordan Tyler, 46 tackles on the season. Tack on one more right there. That is going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Dylan tried to get outside, and the defender was able to get that arm around him and keep Dylan from being able to escape the pocket.
So timeout on the field for the Flashes. Flashes limping a bit here right now. Looks like both T-Bolt and Drysdale have some lower leg ailments, slowing them down just a little bit, but they are both tough guys, so they're out there. I see number 71, Michael Blue, the right guard. He looks a little bit fired up. Definitely excited to see him out there. Kent Hill getting a little bit of a quick drink of water. Big play here for the Flashes. Now, I'm looking out at the sticks right now, and they still have 3rd and 9 out there. Where he came down, I thought there was a sack, and we were looking at 4th and about 12 yards.
I thought
And
it
the
was
ball
4th
is
down
spotted.
too.
Here we go. They are now moving the sticks. The ball was spotted back at 4th and 12. The chain crew is now matching what we saw out on the field.
Got about 30 seconds left in this half, and looks like Flashes are going to punt the ball deep and hope to go to the locker room with the score where it's at.
So here we go, 35-8. Flashes come in here. Looks like they're ready to punt. T-Bolt is looking back over, gives a I'm not sure signal to his offensive coordinator. Not sure if they had a little fake punt on there or not. Here's the kick. This one's going to get down to about the 15-yard line. And you've got a good return. He's out across the 25 and now the 30. He's across the 40 and the 50. Look at him go. Hurdles a man down to the 35-yard line. That was number 2. Flying down the field there, that is Sante Harris, but there is a flag down. There is a flag down on the field. Looks like a block issue there, all the way back at the 40-yard line.
That one is coming back.
Big return there from Sante Harris. 16, a little more than 16 seconds to go here.
Biggest thing the Flash's defense doesn't want to do right here is give up that big play, that big pass that this Bulldog offense has taken advantage of the last couple drives. Try to keep the score at 35-8 going into half, regroup, and be that second half team they've been all year.
So the ball's going to be marked all the way back at the 30-yard line for the Bulldogs. 16 seconds to go, 35-8 lead here in this 3A state playoff game. Flashes are lined up and ready on defense. Bellamy is going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw this one to the outside. Drysdale with a big tackle out there. That one got thrown out to number 8 there, Taj Clark, his first play of the game. Excited that Drysdale gets out there and makes a play. But you know what? They are going to let the clock expire. That is the end of the first half. The Taylor County High School Bulldogs from Perry, Florida, 35. Your St. Joseph Academy Flashes, 8. It is halftime here at Versailles Field. We are going to step away and take a break. A couple of interesting things going on at halftime. We should be back in about 10 minutes to bring you the rest of this regional playoff game. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7 for this special playoff broadcast of Flashes football. So, unfortunately for the Flashes faithful out there, we are down at the half 35-8 to Taylor County High School out of Perry, Florida. The Flashes opened the game with a little bit of a trick play, weren't able to connect, gave the ball back over to Taylor County, and I'm not sure they've stopped him since. 35 points up on the board for the Bulldogs. Just one score for the Flashes after a great run by James Drysdale, and as always, followed up by a nice run by Dylan T-Bolt. Put a couple of points on the board, and then T-Bolt was able to get in for the 2-point conversion. Phil, a lot of energy around this game, a lot of people excited out here tonight, trying to figure out what the Flashes can do in the second half to turn this one around.
Yeah, the biggest bright side of this whole season is the fact that Coach Tidwell has done a great job of having them prepared for the second half, and just making some adjustments throughout the season. He's done, and I'm sure that's what he's doing right now, talking to the boys, stay positive. The game's not out of reach. You got to just be able to go one drive at a time, and just start making some minor adjustments. But they've done it all year. I mean, hats off to what they've done, and hopefully this is another second half like it's been all season.
They're in the north end zone right now on a knee, talking to Coach Tidwell. Knowing Coach Tidwell the way I do, he's given him everything he's got right now. And I know these boys are going to give him everything they've got in this second half. Again, we've seen a couple of notable second half comebacks. I mean, we've seen games where they were tied, we've seen games where they were down, and then boom, off we
Yeah.
go. So I'm still confident that they can make a run here, and I know they're so confident they can make a run. You've seen that on a couple of occasions, most notably going back to the Oak Hall game. Down 6-0 at the half, you come back and won 28-6. It was an exciting night. Actually, you did that game with me, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of fun to watch. And so now as they come back out, helmets are up in the air. A little flashes chant down there. They're ready to go. But the question is, actually, I'm not concerned about their ability to go out and put some points on the board. The question is, can they slow down this Bulldogs offense?
Yeah, and that's definitely the biggest question. And this first drive, the Bulldogs are going to get the ball first, and this is kind of that big drive to start the second half and see that they can, and just for a confidence factor too. If they can put a quick stop and put up a score, that's going to give them a little bit of momentum entering the second half and try and start that comeback.
Got a chance to talk to local sports writer Will Brown during the halftime break, and one of his first comments was, if the Flashes have a chance to come back, Taylor County cannot score on this first drive. I mean, it's as clear as can be, both because well, the reality becomes with math, if they score another touchdown, we're going to have a running clock. But I think the other side of it is emotionally, you need to make a statement. You have got to make something positive happen right now that gives your team the energy. I know one thing happening right now that I love getting a chance to see is a little pregame and halftime tradition. I don't want to call it a ritual, but a tradition that senior quarterback Dylan T-Bolt gets a chance to play catch with his offensive coordinator on the sideline as he gets warmed back up. Um, Brian Newhouse, a former high school quarterback himself, actually played a little linebacker in college, and they're getting a chance to throw it around a little bit. Uh, Hopefully not for the last time.
Absolutely, and I mean, regardless of how this second half ends up, obviously hoping they're starting that comeback. But what a remarkable year this has already been for the Flashes. I mean, it's been a great time enjoying watching them play. There's a lot of excitement. I mean, Dylan and James have been such instrumental parts, and not only just as their play, but the leadership that they've brought. And that's what we kind of expect to see this second half. One thing's for sure, they're not going to give up. They're going to go down with a fight.
No doubt. And as you talk about that leadership, part of what Coach Tidwell talked about the other day, they have a tradition, a little senior walk-off, and kind of what is sometimes you know it's going to be your last practice, and after all the drills are done and they kind of break things down, the seniors literally walk off the field first,
Oh wow.
and the team watches them do it, and then another set of leaders knows they're going to have to step up. I know they did that the other day, but they got told as they were walking, but don't make this the last one. Let's do this again, and that's where we are right now. As I told you the story earlier in the broadcast, got a chance to talk to James after Mass today. Team gathered for mass right after school. Cool pep rally. Hopefully you were following along on Instagram. We went Instagram live during that, during the pep rally, so you could see everything that's happening. After that, they went to mass. And after mass, James and I had just a minute, and I said, "Listen, I want to tell you how much fun it's been to watch you play football, but I'm not ready to be done." And he said, "I completely agree." Gave me a big hug, and then they headed off to their team meal. James has been a great leader. He's been a great football player. Dylan has been a great leader and a great football player. I look at this set of juniors coming up. I look at guys like Sam Ryan. Okay, I look at Michael Mugford. I look at Miles Ayers. All right, I see Patrick Lane out there. Right, and I see guys that are ready to take on those leadership roles. I see skill position guys in Grant Fortner, in Kent Hill, and guys like Greg Allen that are gonna step up in those big roles. So there's a lot of guys to keep moving forward. One of my questions is going to be who plays quarterback for this team next year. Okay, and I don't really want to have that conversation yet. All right, I wasn't ready to even think about it yet. And I know Coach Tidwell doesn't. You can't let those thoughts creep into your mind. But when you've got an incredibly talented senior quarterback like we have, who has been a dual threat for the last 2 years, you have to start wondering. Okay, but you know what? Not yet. Not yet. Let's get ready for the second half. Just a couple of seconds to go here. The kickoff team is lined up right now at the 35-yard line. The ball is set at the 40. Kicker Sam Ryan is right there next to the official. Taylor County has just done a little ceremonial run up here out of the end zone, back over to their sideline. There are cowbells out in the Flashes part of the stands. There's a band over here in the Taylor County part of the stands. A lot of people here enjoying this ball game tonight, and a lot of listeners out there. So again, thanks to everybody for being along with us here on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7, as well as our loyal YouTube viewers, okay, who are keeping an eye on this game from all over the country. We mentioned earlier, just around Florida. I know we've got folks in Orlando and Gainesville. I've got a listener. All right, the kick is going to go out of bounds at the 43-yard line. No flag down, so it appears they're going to start right from there. So the 43-yard line will be the starting point for this Bulldogs offense that, to be frank, has been impressive. The two wide receivers, Zoe Roberts as well as Damari Stevens, have been nearly unstoppable. Stevens, who comes in 6'4", 209 pounds, but the real guy who's been impressive tonight that I've seen has been Robert Glanton. Okay, 23 catches on the season, 390 yards, fast as can be. He plays quarterback for this team. He plays running back for this team. He plays wide receiver. You see him on the defensive side of the ball. He is all over the place. Right now, quarterback DeCorian Bellamy is in the backfield. This one's going to be whistle dead before it gets going. Buddy McGrew was the intended recipient of the handoff, but it looks like offsides on the defense is going to give him a free 5.
And that's definitely not I'm sure that wasn't in Coach Tidwell's pregame second half speech of let's come out with some energy. And unfortunately, first play penalty is not going to go in the right direction. But
All right, so the Bulldogs are lined up, two wide receivers out to the left, one split to the wide side of the field, way out to the right, a little wing back. They are going to go to, oh dear, here we go. That is McGrew. One step, he put his foot in the ground, and he's going to go 47 yards for a touchdown. I want to give the young man a little more respect to really get fired up on that call because it was an incredible run.
it really
He
was.
burst through the line and was gone. Nobody laid a finger on him. But it's hard to get your energy up when the opposing team scores a touchdown like that. But
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
great run. But that puts 41 points on the board now for the Bulldogs. 6 carries, 102 yards there for Mr. McGrew.
Yeah, that was an impressive run, and he's again another big play by that Bulldog offense.
5'10", 185 pounds, and he's a sophomore.
Well, the extra point is good. It does actually make it a 34-point game, so that running clock does not officially start. So Flashes definitely need to get the ball drive and get that drive down and put some points on the board.
So at 42-8, we said just before the kickoff, you couldn't let him score on the first drive. Unfortunately, that's exactly what just happened. So now the question becomes, how does this offense respond? Okay, because this is a pride thing right now. You want to get out there and you want to make a play, both because you want the guys in the white jerseys on the other side of the field to respect who you are and what you're bringing, okay? But you also want to make sure that as you look at yourself in the mirror after this game, you know you gave it everything you've got. Knowing these guys the way I do, that's what we're going to get out of them here.
Absolutely, and then again, that's what Coach Tidwell's done all year. Preached, have pride in yourself, have pride in this program, have pride in this school, and again, that's the classy way that we are, that the school is, and what he's about in his program, and you know they're going to leave everything they got on the field.
Irvin Azarte is going to drill this one up the middle. The return man, again, that was Michael Mugford. He's just going to lay down at the 42-yard line. Not sure ball carrier is in his toolkit, so he's just going to take a knee right there, which is where the Flashes will take over. It is 42-8 with 11:35 to go in the third quarter in favor of Taylor County. Now, the winner of this ball game is going to move on to the third round. There's a game going on right now out west between Florida High and Pensacola Catholic. At last check, Pensacola Catholic was up in that game. Florida High was the number one seed, but it's 17-14 right now in favor of Pensacola Catholic. T-Bolt pitches this one outside to Drysdale. Drysdale is wrestled down back at the 39-yard line. Was looking for a face mask penalty, but he's not going to get it.
Yeah, that the defense got there real quick, and they were able to get past that line of scrimmage and really give James a couple yard loss. Just
So second down and about 13 yards to go here. Kent Hill split out wide to the right, still looking for his first catch of the night. Real tight formation here. Drysdale is going to be met in the backfield. The ball is on the ground, but it's going to be recovered by the Flashes. I believe he was down anyway. Real bunched formation there. You kind of had those two wing backs. You had a fullback in that formation, but Drysdale had nowhere to run. You know, if it were me, and it most assuredly is not and probably shouldn't be. I'm looking at a couple of those quick passes to the outside to Hill to try to get something going, maybe loosen this defense up a little bit, and then you can get back to Drysdale up the middle. They come back with a very similar bunch formation here. Two tight ends, a little H-back here. T-Bolt is going to drop back to pass. He rolls out to the left. He's got a little room to run, but he's going to fire across his body to Kent Hill. That is nearly intercepted, but the ball is on the ground. Sante Harris and Davari Glover were in coverage. I believe that was Harris who had his hands on the football.
Dylan's down. It seems like he might be cramping.
That was part of the conversation going into the game. Both the hydration level, as all of a sudden you got much drier air here as the temperature has dropped, but you're also dealing with a guy who playing quarterback really for the first time in a full-time capacity this year. He's done it in spots. This is the first game that he's gone the entire way. So he is cramping up a little bit, so they're going to stretch him out over there. It is fourth down and about 18 yards. I tell you what, they are still going to take a couple of minutes with him, so we are going to step away and take a 30-second break. You're listening to Flashes Football on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. Welcome back to Flashes Football here on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. The Taylor County Bulldogs lead the St. Joseph Academy Flashes 42-8. The Flashes were just forced to punt. Didn't get a whole lot of net on that punt. Ball's going to be marked at their own 41-yard line. So Taylor County is now going to take over in Flashes territory. And this defense, who has been on the field a lot tonight, making a couple of changes. Kent Hill is coming in at corner for Dylan T-Bolt, who is going to take a little rest over on the sideline. Hill was lined up with, it looked like Glanton, but now he's going to head to the other side. So Kess is now on number 3, Damari Stevens. But this one's going to go to Glanton, who gets up the middle, off the left side, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Robert Glanton goes 42 yards on first down for the score. Not much to say there, Phil.
Nope, there really isn't. This Bulldog offense is just big, fast, and they're really just running over this Flashes defense, unfortunately. And it's.
You know, one of the things that Coach Tidwell often talks about is gap control, and he talks about understanding your assignments. I think one of the things that they're facing tonight is the offensive line is pushing them. Okay, they're getting a good push up front. These skill position guys are a step faster than anybody we've faced this year.
Absolutely.
And runs like that are an indicator of what's going on. Little little pushing and shoving out on the field after that extra point. It is 49-8 here with 8:58 to go.
And what that does now is that clock is going to run for the rest of this game.
So as the Flashes offense gets ready to head out onto the field, the return team making his way out there. First guy out on the field for the return team is your quarterback, Dylan T-Bolt. Definitely a leadership moment for him. That is a tough moment. He's banged up. He's been hit quite a bit tonight. He's cramping up a little bit. But after that touchdown, he's the first guy out on the field ready to play ball. James Drysdale is the deep return man. He is set at the 10-yard line. Patrick Lane, in his first game back from a broken collarbone, is at the 25. I know he was really excited about tonight. He's been chomping at the bit to get back out there. I know his dad was excited that he was back out there because it's been so hard for him to just be on the sidelines over the course of the last 6 games. So he's thrilled to be back. Azarte getting ready to kick this one off. They have avoided kicking it to Drysdale since that first big return. So we'll see what we get here. They're going to kick this one deep. That one is going to go to T-Bolt, who is going to head at the 20-yard line. He is going to get taken down at about the 18. He avoided the first 2 tacklers, but ultimately is taken down. Couple of frustrations on both sides right now. Little jawing going on the field. I think both teams are, one's frustrated and one's kind of feeling their oats a bit.
No, absolutely. But as we said before, as much as this game has pretty much gotten out of control and with this running clock, I mean, there's nothing for this Flashes team to put their heads down about. It's been a phenomenal season. I mean, for Coach Tidwell's second year, and I think last year was a 4-5 record to go to 9-0 this year. I mean, and this is just the beginning. I mean, that's the biggest part. You look at this roster. I think I counted. There's only 5, maybe 6 seniors. So again, yes, there's a couple key guys, and a lot of them are obviously instrumental, but it really is a young core and a lot to build off of this season.
Absolutely, and there's optimism for the future of this program. You know, if you read the article that was in the paper, if you saw any of the news coverage, you know, these guys have a real dedication to the weight room. They're trying to get stronger. They're trying to get faster. They're trying to do things that ultimately make them a real football program moving forward. Okay, little research here from our new in studio producer here says this senior class went 30-7 in their time as Flashes.
Yeah, that's with the
Okay?
loss tonight
That
too.
is really, really impressive.
It is.
And there are guys that are ready to take to carry the torch moving forward.
No, absolutely.
And
And
I don't think
again,
it's early enough in the game for cliches, so I'm going to apologize for that one. That I actually
correct.
just said pick up the torch and carry it, and the like. You really missed the fun earlier when I almost said don't call it a comeback, and then finished it, but I stopped. I
And
stopped.
as you say it, here comes
James
James.
Drysdale barrels his way forward. He's going to pick up 15 yards on that first down run because he's not done.
No,
Look, he is proud of the SJA on that helmet. That that black and green number 24 jersey is something that he wears with honor, and he's going to give everything he's got. He does not want this to end, so he's going to do everything he can.
absolutely. And I'm fortunate to have James on the baseball field, and he does. There's nothing half speed with him. I mean, it's all 100%, and he's going to keep giving it all for this
Ooh, they
last
go to
quarter and a
Drysdale
half.
again. He takes a helmet to the hip, upended at the 38-yard line, gains 4 yards on first down. T-Bolt wanders over to the sideline talking to offensive coordinator Brian Newhouse. You know, there's a handful of trick plays that I'm aware have been worked on over the course of the year. We saw one of them on the first play of the game. I wonder if we don't see one or two more before the end of this game. We are still looking for the McCormick special. I don't know if you're aware of the phenomenon surrounding the McCormick special. We'll get to that if we get another kickoff here. Fake pitch to the outside. T-Bolt under pressure. Evades the first tackler. He's in trouble. Throws this one away. There is a receiver in the area, so no flag is going to come out. Uh, there appears to be a shoe on the ground. Not sure whose shoe that is. That's your quarterback shoe. So he's lost a helmet tonight, and now he's lost a shoe. So he's going to get that laced back up and ready to roll.
So we're at a water break here now.
All right, so the way we're going right now, let's step away for just a moment. They are going to take a little break on the field. We're going to take a break in the booth. We'll be back in 30 seconds on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. While you were away, the Flashes completed a pass to the outside just enough for the first down. Penalty flag comes out on the field, and based on the look on the face of the coach on the near side, this may be against the Flashes. Hoping for an offsetting penalty here, but we'll wait and see. Little conversation happening between head coach Brandon Tidwell and the head referee. I believe they're talking over Coach Tidwell believing there was a late hit or a hit out of bounds. There may have been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty right afterwards, waiting to see the call. Official is shaking his head and Tidwell is walking away. A sideline warning on the Flashes. But just a warning. There is no walk-off here, and that should be a first down for the Flashes. And it will be indeed.
And there the chains move.
So sideline warning on the Flashes, but it doesn't negate the first down. Ball's at the 45-yard line for the Flashes. It was a quick throw to Ethan Senderling. T-Bolt drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, under pressure, men at his ankles. He's going to throw this one to Kent Hill, who was engaged with a receiver. A flag has come out here. Looks like one of the Bulldogs is raising his hand. The Bulldogs have a 49-8 lead. Tempers are flaring a little bit. I believe that's going to be a late hit on the quarterback.
It looked like
Flashes. Looks like one of the Flashes' offensive linemen is going to step off the field. He was trying to protect his quarterback, got a little fired up there. Coaches are having a conversation with him on the sideline. Composure is an important part of play in this game.
absolutely.
2:54 to go in the third quarter. It is a running clock here, so in real time, for minus timeouts, in about 3 minutes, we'll see the end of the quarter. It was roughing the passer here on the Bulldogs. So the ball is going to move forward to the Bulldogs 45, and the Flashes will have another 1st and 10. Not ready to say we're just playing for pride, but as we said before, this is a group that believes in themselves, and they're going to give it what they've got. Fake to Drysdale up the middle. Quick pitch to Sam Ryan, who's going to stick his nose in it right there. He's going to gain we'll call it 3 yards. Tackled there by number 69, like Nathan Hendry. Actually, it was number 60, Nathan Hendry on the tackle. Flashes come up to the line, 2nd and 9. There's Kent Hill out to the right, looking for a quick throw. 2 other wide receivers in the formation. A little orbit motion here. The handoff is to Drysdale, who takes this one up the middle and is going to gain about 5 yards. Drysdale showing some quick feet and a powerful finish there. Ball's just across the 40-yard line for the Flashes. 3rd down and 5. 1:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still 49-8 in favor of the Bulldogs. Flashes come to the line here. Dylan Ott has checked in the game. He's at the slot receiver along with Mac Tibbett split out wide to the right. Sam Ryan is your H-back. This one's going to go to Drysdale, who is going to get stuck at the line. Tried a little spin move, but there was nowhere to go. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Ooh, a flag comes out late. I'm not sure if there's talking or what, but both teams appear a little frustrated at this point. The flag comes out, waiting to see which way this one's going to go. A dead ball foul, personal foul on the Bulldogs. So that's going to add 15 yards, and the ball should be heading down to the 25. We'll wait for the official spot, but yes, they're going to mark it just shy of the 26-yard line. Another 1st down for the Flashes. We are quickly rolling down towards the end of the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds to go. So, folks, we are going to take a break here. When we come back, we will bring you the 4th quarter of this special playoff edition of Flashes Football on Friday Night Lights here on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. So here we go. It is the 4th quarter here in this 3A regional semifinal here in the FHSA state playoffs. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes 9-0 on the season, facing a significant deficit. It's 49-8 in favor of Taylor County High School. T-Bolt drops back to pass. He is under a lot of pressure. He is going to be sacked all the way back at the 43-yard line. That is a loss of 15 yards. The clock is running. T-Bolt is a little frustrated. Not sure if he had a chance to step up in the pocket there, but there were 2 guys in his face nearly as soon as he dropped back.
And it seems like that's kind of been all night long. This defensive line has gotten past the offensive line pretty much and put pressure on Dylan all night long, and it's really made it difficult for him to do what he does, which is the scrambling and then being able to make some good throws, and he just really hasn't had a chance to have that opening.
You know, we have lauded the commitment to the weight room, but it takes more than one off season to really get strong enough in the trenches to push guys around. You know, I think they got to a point where They went from not being strong enough to strong enough. But now, if they're really going to take that next step, they need another offseason. They need these guys who have seen these huge gains since January. And look, they'll be in there in January.
Absolutely.
Okay, they'll be in that weight room, fired up and ready. Great routine. Guys will be in there at 6 o'clock in the morning if they don't have a weight training class or something. Getting all those drills done, getting all those reps in, and getting stronger. A couple of these guys are going to grow, and you're going to see this offensive line get better and better. But the difference tonight, other than the speed of the skill position there for the Bulldogs, has been the battle in the trenches. T-Bolt rolls out to the left. He's going to try to scramble. He's going to take a big hit at the 31-yard line. Ball comes out at the end, but the whistle had already blown. T-Bolt gains about 6 yards, maybe 7 yards on the play. That is going to bring up fourth down. We are
Dil-
at 10 minutes to go.
Dylan just ran off the field. He's in pain. His leg, he's on the ground on the sideline. Looks like he's just cramping really badly. Not sure what they're going to do. And
Isabella Collins, the trainer, is right along with him. She comes from St. Augustine Orthopedics. T-Bolt is definitely cramping up on the sideline here, so he's going to get work done. Now, in this situation, I think you're going to see James Drysdale at quarterback.
most likely, and that's
And I
looks like
also want you to know that James wants a completed pass on his resume, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to throw it. But he can run it here too. He is going to drop back to pass. He is under duress. He pulls it down and he's going to run. He looks like Blake Bortles out there. He makes a cut. He's across the 30, all the way down to the 10-yard line. What a run from James Drysdale.
Unbelievable. He just weaved it in and out. Looked like he was going to make a pass at first, and then somehow picks up a huge third down and long. And just determination by James. I'm not going down. This is my senior year, and I want to put the ball in the end zone one last time.
You are absolutely right, and he did everything he could there. That was a lot of fun to watch. That'll be the one fun thing to watch on film later. So it looks like James is going to stay at quarterback here. So the ball is at the 10-yard line. He gets everybody set, low snap, and he's just going to run it. He goes off the left side, breaks a tackle, gets down to the 4-yard line. Looks like forward progress is going to take him to the 3.
Yeah, another big run, and I think everybody in the park knows what's going to happen here. This is 3 more downs. James is getting the ball every time, and let's see that kid that's done so much for this program in the last 3 years finish off with one more drive.
He jogs over to offensive coordinator Brian Newhouse. God, this is fun to watch. I got to tell you, this is a fun moment for this young man, for the senior, getting a chance to play the quarterback position. There was a game last season where T-Bolt got injured. They were down inside their own 5-yard line. And he played quarterback for a couple of plays, loved it, was visibly upset when Dylan ran back out on the field. He is going to run out to the right. He is going to be met at the 3, breaks a tackle, dives into the end zone. James Drysdale for the touchdown. The cannon goes off in the end zone, and there are 14 points on the board for the Flashes.
You can't ask for a better moment right now for the amount of time and energy that he's put in, the seasons that he's had, the great career that he's had at St. Joe, and hopefully it's not the last one tonight. He's still got some time. Love to see him get a passing touchdown in this game. How's that one?
James made a comment before the game that he really wanted to hear that cannon. And I'm thrilled that he got a chance to do just that. One of our dads is down there running the cannon tonight. Sam Ryan, the extra point is up and good. It's 49-15. Folks, we're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back to bring you the rest of this ball game. Welcome back to WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. It's Friday Night Lights here, a playoff edition. The St. Joseph Academy Flashes are here in this regional semifinal against Taylor County High School from Perry, Florida. Really, the first half was all Taylor County, and here in the fourth quarter, we've had a running clock for a little bit here, but the Flashes on a spirited and an inspired run by James Drysdale get back in the end zone and put 15 on the board. It's 49-15, 5:50 to play in this game. There is a running clock, and so we've got a kickoff here. A nice onside kick. Is that the McCormick special? Kent Hill is going to recover it.
Christian Kess.
That was Christian Kess. The McCormick special for the first time this year is successful.
So that's the.
How
that's the
do you
McCormick
like
special?
that?
Florida High 27, Pensacola Catholic 17.
27-17 lead from what we understand. Pensacola Catholic up over Florida High. The winner of this game, I'm sorry, Florida High is up.
High over Pensacola.
Florida High is up 27. That is not a surprise, although that is a change and definitely a shift in that game. I have been looking forward to the opportunity to call the McCormick special all year long, and there it was. A great onside kick for the Flashes, a pooch kick down to the 30-yard line, a hustle and sprinting Christian Kess goes down and get it at the 30, and a hustling and sprinting Clark McCormick.
Coach McCormick. Is that
The special teams coach sprinting out on the field to grab the tee there. I love it. I'm thrilled, Phil, that you're along with me. But Deacon Ott and I, who have been doing these broadcasts for the last couple of games, have been waiting for the McCormick special all year. He's going to be disappointed that he wasn't on the call when the McCormick special happened.
Well, I'm glad I got to fill in for this one, so it's okay. I have some bragging rights for Deacon Ott in school on Monday.
I can see him right now, and I wish I could get his attention and tell him that the McCormick special just happened. I love it. I'm very excited. I'm excited for Coach McCormick.
Absolutely.
First-year special teams coach. They've had a couple of onside kick attempts over the course of the season. I think one was successful earlier, but that was a lot of fun. And there's been a little legend building and growing around the McCormick special. I've been waiting for it. What a perfect opportunity.
That was a perfectly placed kick, and Christian definitely hustled and did a great job getting it.
So the Flashes have the ball here. Dylan Thibault back in the game. He is under some pressure. He's going to overthrow the intended receiver. A little screen was set up there. Pass was just a little high. Thibault had to put a little extra arc on that to get it over the 3 6-footers that were coming at him with arms raised. A couple of big gloves in his eye. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line. 4:23 to play in this game. It's 49-15 in favor of Taylor County. If things stayed as they were, they would be headed out west to play Florida High. A big game for them, but much closer to home. Thibault swings this one out to Drysdale. Drysdale breaks a tackle. He's across the 30. Runs a man over at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. And he's going to be knocked down just shy of the goal line. A fantastic run. Had his legs taken out at the 5, so he's going to be down at the 3-yard line. The Flashes offense is in business.
Yes, they absolutely are. And again, who is it? It's Thibault to Drysdale, the two of the guys that have done it all year long. And why not one more time here with 3.5 minutes left?
3:30 to go. Ball set at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff to Drysdale. Thibault is going to sprint to the sideline. He's going to get a block at the 5, but he's going to be taken down right there as well. No flags on the play. The ball is going to be marked at the 5-yard line, a loss of 2. They tried to string that play out there and get Thibault on the edge so he could get one more touchdown, but he's going to be denied that opportunity on that play. 3 minutes to go. It's 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line.
You kind of like to see the Thibault to Drysdale one last time, that connection where they both get involved here as the two senior captains of this Flashes team.
4 wide receivers set. Thibault is going to fire this one outside to Kent Hill, and Kent Hill's going to score. Touchdown Flashes. The back judge here was just a little surprised by the cannon fodder
I
here.
think he
Nice reaction there, not only out on the field but up here in the booth. It's 49-21. Sam Ryan lining up for the extra point. That was the best reaction I have seen all night.
I think he got airborne on that one.
He did indeed. Flag on the field. I believe that's going to go against Taylor County. A little encroachment penalty there. So over the course of the last few minutes, the Flashes have really mounted a final charge here. They're looking to put the 22nd point up on the board. Waiting to see if they're going to go for two and kick it. No, they are going to kick it. So Sam Ryan takes his steps, lines himself up. Leo Hyde with the snap. Dylan T-Bolt with the hold. And he's going to have to pick it up. The snap was on the ground. T-Bolt is in trouble. He's rolling right. Miles Ayers with his hand in the air. He wants the ball. T-Bolt's going to evade a couple attackers, and he's going to score. That is a classic Dylan T-Bolt run, and he's going to convert the two-pointer there. It's 49-23. One more big moment for the T-Bolt family to watch their son play on this field. They just got a chance to see him throw a touchdown, and now with a classic college version of Johnny Manziel scramble, gets him into the end zone for the two-point conversion. I love it. Now, in fairness, we have already seen the McCormick special. Is there another trick up the first-year special teams coaches in the special teams coach's bag of tricks to pull out right here and maybe get another one? This could be a lot of fun.
We'll see if they get one more off. There's only about 40 seconds left on the clock, so it's I don't even know if there's going to be a kickoff.
And you know what? There isn't. They are jogging back off the field. The Taylor County faithful are celebrating. And as the clock ticks down the final seconds on the Flashes season, I want to make sure I get a chance, first of all, to congratulate all of these young men for their incredible effort this year. Impressed by the coaches. Thank you to Chief Barry Fox, Brian Eli, who's been out there, Tom Dickerson, James Coleman, who's been out there all year, Clark McCormick, Brian Newhouse, and head coach Brandon Tidwell. I want to say thank you to our production crew over the course of the year, Michael Tolsman, who's been on the camera, CJ Emerson, who keeps us live on YouTube. Big thanks to Katie back in the WSOS studios for keeping us live on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. The final score here from Versailles Field is the Taylor County Bulldogs 49, the St. Joseph Academy Flashes 23. Taylor County is going to advance into a regional final in the 3A state playoffs, likely against Florida High. A big win for them. A lot of great athletes on that field. A lot of great players. It's going to be a interesting run for them as they move forward. For the Flashes, Phil, I got to tell you, they gave it everything they had tonight.
Yeah, they did. And again, like, as we said before, there's nothing to put their heads down about. The continuous fight, and like we've said earlier, Coach Tidwell has these guys' mentality, toughness, and fight till the last. That last tick is off the clock, and that's what they did. I mean, they could have folded really quick. They were down big. They had the running clock start on them, and they didn't want to give up, and they put up that extra 15 points there and towards the end of the game, and just showed the resilience and fight that they've had all year.
They did, and I think that's been a hallmark of this team. You know, they have faced adversity this year. They faced a notable challenge tonight. I feel like what you saw in the latter portion of this game was the way they wanted to be playing from the opening kick. A couple of things didn't go their way early. We'll never know what this game would have looked like if that first play of the game, the halfback pass, would have been completed. Receiver was wide open. It was a pretty throw. Couldn't come down with it. And so then we move forward and we say, what is this team going to look like next year? What is this team going to look like in the future? I think that's going to be a conversation for another day. Tonight, I want to say thank you and congratulations to all of these seniors. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to bring you these games right here live on the Flashes Digital Network and on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. To our seniors, if you get a chance to listen to this game later, thank you for everything that you've done for this school and for the program. For James and Dylan, who have given so much of themselves to this team, again, thank you for all of it. They are celebrating right now on the Taylor County side, and what we see on the other side are our guys hugging their family and friends. So a lot of impressive things going on right now. We're going to sign off right now on behalf of my co-host, Coach Phil Weiser. I am Todd DiClemente. You have been listening to Flashes Football on WSOS 103.9 and 95.7. And unfortunately, for the final time this season, good night, everybody, and go Flashes.